What if I told you that every toxic relationship you've ever been in was actually a mirror reflecting your deepest, most unresolved internal struggles? Imagine having the power to break free from this destructive cycle forever. Not through manipulation, not through anger, but through the timeless wisdom of ancient philosophers who understood the human soul better than we understand ourselves today. In the vast landscape of human emotions, we often find ourselves trapped in a labyrinth of toxic relationships, wondering how we repeatedly fall into the same painful patterns. The ancient Stoic philosophers understood something profound about human nature, that our external struggles are merely manifestations of our internal chaos. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple yet revolutionary statement cuts through the complexity of human suffering like a sharp blade of wisdom. We are not victims of our circumstances. We are architects of our own emotional response. Our attraction to toxic people is not a weakness, but a complex psychological dance of unresolved traumas, unconscious patterns, and deep-seated beliefs about our self-worth. Each toxic relationship becomes a battlefield where our inner demons wage war against our potential for growth and transformation. But wait, what if I told you that by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why you're drawn to toxic relationships, but also possess the exact mental tools to break free forever? Stay with me, because the most transformative journey of your life is about to begin. The human psyche is a mysterious realm where pain often masquerades as familiarity. We gravitate towards relationships that confirm our deepest fears and reinforce our hidden narratives about love, worthiness, and belonging. It's a subtle form of self-sabotage that keeps us locked in repetitive cycles of emotional turmoil. Understanding this pattern is the first step towards liberation. By recognizing that our attractions are not random, but carefully constructed through years of psychological conditioning, we begin to reclaim our power. We start to see toxic relationships not as curses, but as profound opportunities for self-discovery and radical personal transformation. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, understood that our greatest battle is not with external forces, but with our internal world. You have power over your mind, not outside events, he wrote, capturing the essence of true emotional freedom. This profound insight reveals why we repeatedly find ourselves entangled in toxic relationships. We have yet to master our inner landscape. The human mind is a complex ecosystem of fears, desires, and unresolved traumas. Our attraction to toxic people is not a random occurrence, but a carefully choreographed dance of psychological defense mechanisms. We unconsciously seek relationships that mirror our deepest wounds, believing that this time, we can heal the pain of our past through repeated suffering. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, observed that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Our minds create elaborate narratives that justify our continued engagement with toxic individuals. We convince ourselves that love means enduring pain, that martyrdom is a virtue, and that our worth is determined by our ability to withstand emotional turbulence. But the Stoic philosophy offers a radical alternative. It teaches us that our emotional responses are choices, not predetermined reactions. We can learn to observe our impulses without being consumed by them. Each moment of attraction to a toxic relationship becomes an opportunity for profound self-reflection and growth. The path to freedom begins with radical acceptance. Not acceptance of toxic behavior, but acceptance of our own patterns. By understanding the root of our attractions, we transform from victims to conscious creators of our emotional experiences. We become archaeologists of our own psychological landscape, excavating the hidden beliefs that drive our most destructive relationship patterns. Are you ready to uncover the hidden psychological mechanisms that keep you trapped in toxic relationships? In the next segment, I'll reveal the secret Stoic technique that has helped warriors, leaders, and philosophers break free from emotional bondage for thousands of years. This is not just another self-help trick. This is a revolutionary approach to understanding human connection. Modern psychology confirms what Stoic philosophers understood centuries ago. Our emotional responses are not predetermined fate, but learned patterns that can be deliberately rewired. Dr. Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner in behavioral economics, demonstrated how our brains create cognitive shortcuts that often lead us into repetitive, destructive behavioral cycles. The human brain is remarkably adaptable, a quality the Stoics intuitively understood long before neuroscience could prove it. We are not fixed entities, but dynamic beings capable of profound transformation. Our attraction to toxic relationships is a complex interplay of childhood experiences, attachment styles, and unconscious survival mechanisms developed in response to early emotional environments. When we repeatedly choose toxic partners, we are not weak. We are attempting to resolve unfinished emotional business from our past. Each toxic relationship becomes a psychological reenactment, an unconscious effort to heal old wounds. But healing cannot occur through re-traumatization. It requires conscious intervention and deliberate emotional rewiring. The Stoic approach offers a revolutionary framework for breaking these cycles. Instead of viewing ourselves as victims, we become active architects of our emotional landscape. We learn to create space between stimulus and response, understanding that our power lies not in controlling external events, but in managing our internal reactions to those events. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing feelings, but about developing a profound understanding of their origins. By cultivating self-awareness, we transform our relationship patterns from unconscious repetition to intentional creation. We become observers of our emotional states, able to choose response over reaction, wisdom over impulse. But here's the most mind-blowing revelation. What if your toxic relationship patterns are actually your greatest teachers? Next, I'll unveil a groundbreaking Stoic technique that turns your most painful relationship experiences into your most powerful personal transformation tool. This is not just theory. This is a life-changing revolution in understanding human connection. Throughout human history, the most profound transformations have emerged from our deepest pain. The Stoic philosophers understood that suffering is not a punishment, but an invitation to growth. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Holocaust and developed logotherapy, echoed this sentiment by stating, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Our attraction to toxic relationships is a complex psychological landscape shaped by intricate emotional algorithms. Each painful interaction becomes a mirror, reflecting our deepest insecurities, unresolved traumas, and unconscious belief systems. We are not drawn to toxicity by chance, but by a deep, often unconscious desire to understand and heal our internal wounds. The human spirit possesses an extraordinary capacity for resilience and transformation. When we approach our relationship patterns with curiosity instead of judgment, we unlock a powerful mechanism of personal growth. We begin to see each toxic interaction not as a failure, but as a sophisticated learning experience designed by our psyche to reveal our hidden strengths. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true freedom lies not in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering our internal response. By developing emotional intelligence, we create a protective shield that allows us to navigate complex relationships without losing ourselves. We learn to distinguish between compassion and self-destruction, between understanding and enabling. Radical acceptance does not mean tolerating abuse or remaining in harmful situations. Instead, it means acknowledging our patterns with profound honesty, understanding their root causes, and consciously choosing a different path. We become the authors of our emotional narrative, transforming pain into wisdom, vulnerability into strength. Are you ready for the most powerful revelation of all? I'll share the definitive Stoic strategy that transforms your deepest relationship wounds into your most extraordinary personal power. This isn't just another motivational speech. It's a revolutionary approach to reclaiming your emotional sovereignty. In the intricate tapestry of human experience, our most challenging relationships become our most profound teachers. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, a renowned trauma expert, argues that transformation occurs not by talking about our pain, but by developing the capacity to feel it without being overwhelmed. The Stoic philosophers understood this principle millennia before modern psychology could articulate it. Our attraction to toxic relationships is fundamentally a conversation between our wounded past and our potential future. Each painful interaction carries an encoded message, a cryptic invitation to heal, to grow, to transcend the limitations of our previous emotional programming. We are not victims, but alchemists transforming emotional lead into golden wisdom. The human psyche possesses an extraordinary resilience that defies rational explanation. When we approach our relationship patterns with compassionate awareness, we begin to decode the complex language of our emotional intelligence. We discover that what once seemed like a curse is actually a sophisticated navigation system guiding us toward our most authentic self. Stoic philosophy reveals a profound truth. Our external world is a reflection of our internal landscape. By cultivating inner peace, by developing an unshakable sense of self-worth, we naturally repel toxic interactions and attract relationships that honor our true essence. We become magnets for respect, understanding, and genuine connection. Personal transformation is not a destination, but a continuous journey of self-discovery. Each moment becomes an opportunity to choose consciousness over conditioning, compassion over reactivity, wisdom over wounded impulses. We learn to dance with our vulnerabilities, to embrace our imperfections, and to write a new story of emotional liberation. But wait, there's a profound secret I'm about to reveal that will change everything you thought you knew about relationships and personal growth. In the final segment of this journey, I'll share the ultimate Stoic breakthrough that will help you not just survive, but thrive in your emotional landscape. This is the moment everything changes. Your journey of transformation begins right here, right now. The toxic relationships that once defined you will become the very catalyst of your greatest personal evolution. You are not broken. You are in the process of becoming magnificently whole. The ancient Stoics understood a universal truth that transcends time. True power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. Every painful relationship, every moment of emotional turmoil is an invitation to grow, to rise, to become the most authentic version of yourself. We are not prisoners of our past. We are architects of our future. The moment you choose self-awareness over self-destruction, you break the chains of toxic patterns. You become the author of your own emotional narrative, writing a story of resilience, courage, and profound personal transformation. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your past does not dictate your future. Your wounds do not define you. You are capable of extraordinary healing and growth. This is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of your most powerful chapter. Embrace your strength, honor your journey, and step into the life you were always meant to live.